This video is documenting days 4 through 7 of my journey quitting that za, bro. Quitting that freaking loud pack. That's right. So, I will admit, a couple days ago, 3 days ago was July 4th, and I did smoke with my friends. I made a shorter video documenting that, but I felt it didn't really do it justice. And yeah, for the past few days, like I was doing daily uploads at first, but I don't know. Just having to deal with quitting alone was really draining me and not kind of, I just didn't feel like setting the camera up. I'm going to be honest, but I have been mostly off. Like since July 4th, I haven't smoked at all. And in all honesty, I don't really feel that bad about it. It was with friends, it was a social thing, there was intent behind it. And I also don't really feel like it set me back necessarily in terms of how intense my cravings are. I mean, maybe, maybe it did a little bit. I'm at a point now where I just don't even feel like I want to quit. And I honestly don't even feel like I want to regulate it. Like I don't even care anymore. I'm 20 years old, and the way the world looks, like it's hard for me to reconcile living a healthy, productive life because it's ultimately fruitless. Like it sort of feels like it's ultimately fruitless. And, this shit is supposed to be in the palm of my hand, but it's not. I'm just, even in my position, even in my upper middle class, white, male, straight, cis position, I still find it difficult to see myself really like having a career, making enough money to survive, having a family, not being a lifetime renter. And on top of all of that, I'm pursuing art, I'm pursuing filmmaking, and that, I mean, I feel sort of naive for doing that, but at the same time, it almost feels like, well, why not, right? Like, you might as well be an artist because everything else is going to shit anyway. So it's really hard for me to understand why I even need to quit smoking. And you might be writing a comment right now being like, oh, you need to get off. You need to get off social media. You need to get off of Instagram. All that shit is fear mongering, bro. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west every day, regardless of who's fighting who. And I'm off Instagram, bro. I don't have Instagram. I don't have any social media. And I actually haven't had any social media for like 7 months consistently. Like I'll post on Instagram like a little film I make, but I don't scroll. I delete it as soon as I make my post, or I post from my computer so I don't even have to have it on my phone. So no, it's not fear mongering. And it's not like I'm watching Fox News or CNN, right? Like I'm getting my information from as many sources as I possibly can. And pretty much all of them are pointing towards this direction that we're moving in not only the United States, but just the world. Like consumerism seems to only be getting more and more popular, which I didn't even know was even possible. The progenitors of AI are telling us that it's replacing all the tedious jobs that humans don't need to do, but what it's really doing is replacing all the artists and keeping all of the white collar employees employed. The United States is like, I live in New Mexico, okay? I live in Albuquerque, and Kirkland Air Force Base is here. Kirkland Air Force Base is like one of the, we hold a lot of nukes. We have a lot of nukes. And every day on the interstate, I see a new military truck, like a huge armored like warhog from Halo type thing. And so I see like we're militarizing. I'm a young, able-bodied man. And Trump, when he had his meeting with Zelensky in the White House, I don't even remember when that was. One of the reporters asked Zelensky, why haven't you had any elections in the past 4 years? Like you technically shouldn't be president anymore. And Zelensky was like, well, in a time of war, we can suspend that part of our constitution. And Trump was like, what? You can do that? So there's no doubt in my mind that that's what he's going to do, come 2028. Like, you know what I mean? That guy's not planning to leave. The only way he leaves is if he dies. And then when he dies, we get the Palantir pawn. We get the Palantir. Oh, what, dude? You see what I'm saying? Like, this video is supposed to be about quitting cannabis. And it feels like being sober for this much time, all day, every day, really opens my eyes to all of the atrocities of the world. And I used to be of the opinion that it doesn't matter, and that like the people suffering on the other side of the planet, like I feel for them, I feel empathy for them, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. But being sober, that was like my geeker opinion. But now my sober opinion is that holy fucking shit, it literally could not matter more. And as soon as large scale agricultural societies became the norm, that's when we were cooked. We should have stayed nomadic hunter-gatherers. We really should have. We should have stayed in tribes with populations of less than 100, mostly family, mostly close friends, close relatives. But instead, we're all pretending like it's possible to live in a society 300 million large under one governing body. Like, come on, be real. Even if he gets out of office, we're still looking down the barrel of some other gun. You know what I mean? Like, we're always going to be fighting each other because we do not belong in groups like this. We don't, and I'm not saying that as like a weird, like, racism thing. It's not that. I think it's totally possible for different races and cultures to intermingle. It's just like even within those cultures, there are subgroups who oppose each other. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's been really hard. It's been really hard to see a reason to quit. And kind of the only thing that's kept me going is my shame. Because I've told pretty much everyone I know that I'm done, or that I'm taking a really long break, more than a week. Like, I'm really going to stick it out this time. And so I feel this sort of shame at the prospect of then like texting them and being like, I folded, or like, can you help me fold, basically, right? Like, because I'm 20. I'm not going to spell that out for you, but I think anyone with a brain understands what I'm saying. It feels shameful to tell all the people who I used to reach out to for help in obtaining these things, and then being like, actually, bro, I lied and I'm not done. If I continue, what I'm going to do, the next video I post is just going to be days 7 through 14. So I'm just going to do weekly updates from now on. I was doing daily for the first few days, but it just doesn't really work with my schedule. And if I don't continue, I guess you'll never see me again, and you'll know why. Because then I'll feel an immense amount of shame. Just, what a fucking world, am I right? What a fucking world. You grow up being told that we live in the most advanced time in recorded human history, and that we live in a time, and especially in a place like America, where if you dream it, you can do it. If you want it, you can have it. But I don't think this is a problem that is specific to my generation. I think across all of American history, everything that's happened, it's all been theater. There's someone out there writing all this shit, and then it happens. That's why you get people like J.D. Vance, who 10 years ago was a liberal and now a decade later is apparently a staunch conservative who loves Trump. And it's not like you can just pack up and move anywhere you want. You got to get a visa. And even if I were to want to move to like Canada, I still have to reconcile with the fact that this is stolen land. Even Canada, all of North America, it's stolen. I need to go. See this? It's backwards, but I hope you can read it. Or maybe it isn't backwards. I don't know. Maybe it's just backwards in my viewfinder. But I need to go here. This is where I belong. Look at my complexion, man. Like, fuck. That's it. Just fuck.